welcome to the Twin Towers Hotel and Convention Center for the 1991 AAU Karate National Championships. Hi, everyone. I'm John Kirk, and Brett Mayfield. If we were to use one word to describe what our viewers have in store for them tonight, it would be variety.
Variety is what we have. We have Kata, which is forms. We have Kumite, which is fighting. And we have Kabuto, which is old weapons. We've got everything here tonight.
And we look forward to some team friendship competition as well. They call it a friendship competition, but I have a feeling there will be some rather high-powered confrontations.
Well, we've got three great teams going against each other. We have the USA, we have England, and we have Japan.
Several dignitaries with us. Jeff Thompson, the five-time world heavyweight champion, will be with us, along with New England Patriot linebacker Andre Tippett. So this event is attracting all the great ones.
It sure is, and we're looking forward to watching both their demonstrations and seeing what everybody here has to show us tonight in this competition.
And when we come back, we'll enjoy our opening ceremonies and then the competition. We'll be back right after this.
AAU Karate, first in amateur sports. Become involved with the Amateur Athletic Union Karate program, offering the finest local, regional, and national competition structure. A gateway to the AAU Junior Olympic Games. AAU Karate has an extensive nationwide coaches and referees education program with emphasis on quality traditional karate. AAU has the leading junior, collegiate, and senior programs in the United States. A tradition of excellence. The AAU, serving amateur sports for over 100 years. Central Florida's finest, the newly renovated Twin Towers Hotel and Convention Center, located at the entrance to Universal Studios, Florida. Within 15 minutes to downtown Orlando, the airport, and equal distance to all other major attractions. Enjoy the comfort of one of our 760 luxurious guest rooms and suites. Relax with a cool refreshment at our Junior Olympic-sized pool and jacuzzi. The Palm Court Restaurant offers popular dishes and creative entrees. The Citrus Shop Deli, a New York-style deli open 24 hours a day, offers a lighter menu and even room service. For further information, call 1-800-327-2110.
Who makes it possible to get CV on your TV? It takes a lot of helpful people. People who know electronics inside and out. Computer people. Night people. People. And people who aren't afraid of heights. So who makes it possible to get CV on your TV?
I do. Oh, yeah? Of course I get a lot of help.
See it on TV. Delightfully tacky, get it on fine, how about Hooters?
Enjoy our family atmosphere. Every time with friends you'll find it here. Great food and fun is what we boast.
Wings, crab, shrimp, and oyster roasts.
More than a mouthful is what you'll say. So
How about Hooters today, where you'll have fun till your daddy takes a T-bird away. How about Hooters?
An enthusiastic crowd packed into the Twin Towers Resort and Convention Center as AAU President Gussie Crawford offered a warm welcome. The opening ceremonies continued with words of encouragement from the National Karate Chairman and formal introduction of many of the greats in the world of karate, along with those individuals playing key roles in bringing this event to Central Florida. Karate enthusiasts were on hand to pay tribute to both past and present stars and to welcome new members into the Karate Hall of Fame. The cornerstone of the Amateur Athletic Union is friendship and competition. The friendship drums pounded out that message as the action was set to begin. Mr. Ed Otis from the American Japanese Karate Association started the evening off in impressive fashion. John Kirk along with Brett Mayfield. Brett, newly inducted into the Karate Hall of Fame, and we sit back and watch Ed Otis, and the focus here is self-defense.
That's right. Mr. Otis is one of the best instructors of Japanese Shotokan karate in the country, and a true practitioner of self-defense. This is knife self-defense, which is extremely dangerous. This is a live knife, and not one of these play toys from the movies or anything.
Something that, Brett, you're very familiar with, working with some police academies across the country and across the world, for that matter, focusing on self-defense.
That's one of the things that I've done, and for the last 15 years, and it's very interesting how martial arts, of course, we are learning how not to fight, and unfortunately police officers are learning how to just basically protect themselves out there.
Brett Mayfield, 31 years in and around martial arts, and you didn't tell me you were going to be inducted into the hall tonight, so you pull a surprise on me early in the broadcast.
Well, I didn't know it either, so.
Okay, well, they pull a surprise on you.
That's right.
Early in the broadcast, but it's great to be with you here at the Twin Towers Hotel and Convention Center across from Universal Studios, and Ed Otis exhibiting some self-defense skills, much to the delight of this crowd who has settled in, and they're ready for a busy night of karate. We're going to give them a little bit of everything tonight. And we'll be back with more from the 1991 AAU Karate National Championships right after this.
Listen to me. Do not, I repeat, do not ever throw a bottle or can out of your car window onto the highway. If you do, I will follow your car, I will come to your house, and I will tell you to your face, take it back, recycle it, and believe me, I can get very nasty.
Buy stuff that's recycled. Recycle the stuff you buy. Take it back.
I've had a lot of fun doing tricks like that here at Cypress Gardens, and now I'm having fun in another career, the Florida National Guard. In the National Guard, you can choose from fields like armor, infantry, aviation, medical, field artillery, and lots more. See or call your hometown recruiter today and find out what the National Guard can do for you.
Larry, this Crash Dummy Hall of Fame's impressive.
It's the Mona Lisa.
Not much to smile about if people aren't buckling up.
Vince, do you think we'll end up here?
Let's hope so.
Ludwig von Brake's broken.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Now, we should mention that we'll be seeing traditional karate where technique, art, and sportsmanship is stressed above all else. Karate is an art form and a science, and that will be displayed in the techniques you're about to see as we're about ready to get our first bout underway. The bout should run no longer than 2 minutes unless we go into overtime, or could be over a lot quicker. The first combatant to score 3 points is declared the winner.
That's right. We call it sanban, which in Japanese is 3 points. Takaro's his opponent is Mr. Ishigama from Hawaii, one of the top competitors in the world.
Squaring off here. Very quick, a lot of movement, Brett.
Japanese karate, which is what we do in the amateur athletic unit, is extremely fast.
A half point.
Right, we have a half point. The reason he scored a half point is it didn't have enough power and focus to the body. This is a warning that she's giving. There might have been some contact to the face. We allow only a small amount of contact. It has to be very controlled. It's very powerful, very fast, but very controlled.
That's one of the misnomers. A kick that actually hits the head area too hard, you could be penalized for. You want to, the ideal kick would just miss the head, just stop short of making contact, and that could be a full point.
That's right. It could be right there within millimeters or even less, but if it hits the head, it is scored down. He still can score with it, but it is scored down.
Meaning it could be a half a point.
That's exactly right.
So more scoring.
That's right. We have another half point here. Again, basically he is just, he's finding his target, but not with a lot of power at this point. Now here's a very good punch. He probably didn't have enough focus. Yeah, just missed getting a full point on that one.
The scoring is done by both a judge and a referee. We call it mirror scoring, where the referee has all the say. The judge is there just to assist, and there is a reverse punch.
Yeah, he had a nice clean reverse punch in there. They were a little close, so that's why he again got the half point. You'll find that scoring in real karate to have what we call a knockout or killing blow is very difficult.
The outer boundary of the ring is viewed as a cliff to the karate fighter. 4 times in a fight, if you leave the ring, it would be over, similar to a 3 knockdown rule in American boxing.
That's right. He must stay in this confined area, otherwise he will be penalized and eventually he could lose the match.
The karate man is expected to take care of business in a relatively small space, and that's what we're seeing right here from the Twin Towers, and we're delighted to have you with us, John Kirk, along with Brett Mayfield, inducted into the Karate Hall of Fame tonight. And another half point is awarded.
We have the winner here from Japan, Takuro, and he seems very elated about it. Our second is our lightweight, Kitojime Satoko. He's also from Japan, representing the International Martial Arts Federation from St. Petersburg, Florida. And John Linkako from Honolulu. He's probably the finest lightweight in America up to this point.
Lightweight up to 143 pounds, 60 to 65 kilos. And right away he goes in with a reverse punch and a score for the red.
Oh no, we have a score on the other side for Mr. Linkako, a full point.
It comes in again through the body.
Probably a half point here with a kick. He's very powerful with those legs. Another full point.
So it is now 2-0 in favor of the white corner. Remember, 3 points will win it. Reverse punch to the chest area.
He won.
That is 3. 3-0. He blanked him quick with 3 quick points. And just like that, Brett, we have our second winner and our second national champion.
Well, you'll find John, like I said, is probably about the finest you'll find in this country. He's quite good. They spend a lot of time. He's from Honolulu, and they spend a tremendous amount of time on the islands practicing karate do.
Now we will move to the light middleweight, 65 to 70 kilos, or up to 154 pounds. And some intense looks on the face of these combatants as they get ready for a fairly hot confrontation.
Right, we have Randy Lawrence from New York and Albert Dorlag, both fine competitors. Albert's from Michigan.
Contact, but no scoring.
It brushed off the side. It's got to be a clean blow. The bigger they go, like just in boxing, the speed slows down and the power comes out.
The criteria for scoring 1 full point is a sweep or takedown, attacks to the back, kicks to the head that don't make contact, or 2 half points, a combination.
That's right. Albert scored a half point there.
Very difficult to score a full point. That's why that second match was somewhat of an aberration, over so quickly.
He was already down. He's got to score on him extremely quickly before he recovers.
They resume. Crowd silent during these Karate National Championships as they just watch in awe.
Well, as you find it, what's a little different from boxing martial arts is it's not that martial art is not a very highly skilled sport, as well as a good way of fighting, but in martial arts we concentrate more on technique. And so the audience allows them a little more leeway in while they're fighting to concentrate on that technique.
Good crowd here at the Twin Towers and Convention Center. As you look at both the referee and the judge, and a look at the crowd enjoying themselves.
Of course, we're just coming from our preliminary matches the last 3 days, and we've had competitors today in the fighting. We had 2,900 competitors.
Lawrence and Dorley, New York versus Michigan. And they begin once again. 2-minute limit, stop time. It's a kick and knocked out of bounds.
What's amazing about these finals, of course, these young men have been fighting all day long, and then they can get out here and still give their full strength. Well, we have Randy taking that. It was sort of a surprise. I thought Albert would come through in the end.
Get a look at Randy making his way back. There's more action to come from the Twin Towers Hotel and Convention Center right after this.
The point? There is no one more experienced, more professional, or better equipped than Meeting Services from TAVS.
AAU Karate, first in amateur sports. Become involved with the Amateur Athletic Union Karate program, offering the finest local, regional, and national competition structure. A gateway to the AAU Junior Olympic Games. AAU Karate has an extensive nationwide coaches and referees education program with emphasis on quality traditional karate. AAU has the leading junior, collegiate, and senior programs in the United States. A tradition of excellence. The AAU, serving amateur sports for over 100 years.
Welcome back to the Twin Towers Hotel and Convention Center as we continue along an exciting evening in karate action. Typically, Brett, the techniques that we see are the front kick, the side kick, the round kick, and using the hands, the back fist, and the reverse punch. Is there anything else that you can add to the typical techniques that we'll see exhibited in a tournament at this level?
No, that's basically what you'll find, but in Japanese karate in the Amateur Athletic Union, the two main scoring weapons will be the reverse punch and the front kick. The others are too difficult maneuvers at such high speeds in this type of Japanese karate.
Now you see some tape or padding on the hands.
Right, it's a cotton, padded cotton glove. They're about only a 1/4 inch thick, so they're not very thick, just enough to keep from cutting the body of the face when a mistake is made.
And we are underway. Women's lightweight national championship in the AAU on the line, and already we have a half point.
We have a half
white
point
corner.
Yeah, to Miss Garcia.
No score, block.
No score. It is a half point for Garcia from Hawaii facing Joni Wilson from Michigan.
It looked like a reverse punch on the inside. Probably missed. It did miss. That was thrown by Miss Garcia, but it slid off.
Garcia very aggressive, coming right out on the attack.
Whoop. Miss Wilson, that's what I thought. A beautiful reverse punch right to the chest.
Wilson ties it at a half-point apiece. Remember, 3 points will win it. 2 minutes stop time, and once again they go in, and let's see what the...
Same time. They both scored at the same time there, and they don't award a point to either person if it's at the same time.
Both are very aggressive, coming in, not shy at all about wrapping up. Very precise and quick, as you can see. A lot of movement now from Joni Wilson. She takes wider steps, Brett.
Yeah, she just is a little bit larger lady by a little bit there, and tends to circle in a wider area, where Miss Garcia is a little smaller inside movement. She's having a little problem today, though.
It's a half point for Wilson, and she's up 1.5 points now. The other thing that I've noticed from Wilson, she appears to have better defensive skills. She's very calm in there as Garcia wades in aggressively. She just uses that right hand to bat away, and there's a side kick. Or a roundhouse, rather.
Yeah, the roundhouse missed, but the reverse punch did hit by Miss Garcia.
So it's tied up now at 1 point apiece. As Wilson looks like she's looking to hypnotize her opponent with that wide defensive positioning of the hands.
That's right. What she's doing is opening the body up, the chest area, and she's hitting it quite well.
She's got a half point and takes the lead. Very close match here in the women's lightweight division. A side kick to the abdomen. Time is out, and there's a discussion. Brett Mayfield, the promoter for this event, has been very busy all week long, and he's worn many hats, and he's wearing multiple hats today for this tournament, serving as our color commentator and also our public address announcer. And the fight resumes. Kumite, as Garcia comes in again aggressively. She is missing. Now there may have been some contact to the face. Let's see.
No,
a half point.
Yeah, she was clear. She was about a quarter inch off on that punch.
That was a solid contact, a reverse punch, and that's a full point because she caught Garcia coming in at the precise time when she delivered the blow, and that could be the deciding factor as this match is starting to wind down.
Yeah, Miss Wilson has a decisive lead now.
Garcia was on the attack, and Wilson timed it perfectly for the point, and that's the other way you can score a full point, when you catch your opponent coming in, and that's exactly what happened, and then they catch it seems to magnify the force of the blow. And what's the discussion all about down there now, Brett?
Well, we have the end of the match. What they're probably deciding if any point was scored at the end of the match before the time actually ended.
You think it's a point?
Yes, I even got to my student.
Okay.
There's a look at Joni Wilson.
Before time was called, a point was scored. Shiro Ozari.
So Garcia scores late. Let's see how it affects the outcome. She scored at the buzzer.
That's a hikiwaki, which is a draw, and they'll fight on. Inshosen is what it's called.
So we see overtime. In our first men's match, we saw a very quick bout, and now we have overtime. The first point wins it, or first half point wins it. Let's see what happens.
Same time. They're really going at it. We got the crowd going now.
It's been aggressive from the start, and let's see who can score first and take home a national championship. They both move in. Time is out once again.
No score.
No score. The play goes on. And you can feel the drama. We talked about the stillness of the crowd earlier. All of a sudden, they're becoming rather boisterous in the excitement.
That's right. Well, when the competitors get excited, the crowd gets excited, and that's what happens. I think also the women, believe it or not, tend to get a lot more action than some of the men with their heavier weight.
Both go in once again. Garcia has been aggressive in a half point for Wilson, and she is the national championship in the ladies' AAU lightweight division.
That's right. She fought an extremely good fight, opening her opponent up the whole time to open up the chest area, and that's where she scored most all her blows.
So Joni Wilson takes back a national championship to Michigan, and we're moving right along to the middleweights now as we have a combatant from Hawaii, Kata, and Ayuko from Japan.
Right. Marcy Kotaka and Okamura Ayuko. Aoka is again from the International Martial Arts Federation dojo in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Kataka is in the white corner. The red corner is Ayuko.
That's correct. Kotaka, Miss Kotaka's got good height on her and a lot of reach with her legs. So she uses those legs for an advantage and her long arms for an advantage.
You can see the red flag coming off of Ayuko, signifying she is in the red corner. It's an easy way for you to identify the participants or the contestants. Both very patient. 2-minute match, 30 seconds or so have already gone by and there has not been a blow delivered.
Yeah, as you get a little heavier in all divisions, they look more and more for the technique. It's harder to get it in.
And a half point for Ayuko from Japan. A lot of bounce. Going for the sweep was Ayuko, and let's see what happens. Discussion. Half point for Ayuko after all is said and done, so she leads it 1-0 early. Match is about half over. As you said, as you move up in weight, content to focus on patience in that opening. Another half point, a point and a half for Ayuko. So now if you are Kataka from Hawaii, you have to become more aggressive, trailing 1.5 to nothing.
Well, you do. You have to become more aggressive to score your point, but you also have to keep yourself covered to keep from getting scored on again. Otherwise, the match is over real soon.
I think we have another score for Ayuko.
So instead of full point, half point.
No, we have half point for Kotaka. There was slight contact there, so it would have been a full point, and they had to reduce that to a half point because of the contact.
And Brett, that's why I'm not the referee or the judge in this one. I'm in the right seat.
Well, it takes an eye where you watch this for many, many years to see the body moving that quickly.
So battling back now is Kataka, 1.5 to 1. And your words were prophetic early. You said, yeah, you have to be more aggressive, but you have to be careful. And she has battled her way back into contention as the clock winds down.
She sure has, John. Oh, nice.
Now Ayuko from Japan wants to be very careful.
That's a hard one. I thought I saw a score coming from Ms. Kotaka early there, but it's hard to say whether or not it was. When you're this far back, it's hard to say whether it reached. It did reach.
She ties it up at 1.5 apiece, very late in the match. Aggressive, and I think we have a score for the red corner now, but let's wait and see.
Sure.
It's a full point for Ayuko from Japan.
Ayuko is one of the women champions over in Japan.
So she's a half point away now of winning this one, and some contact, and the fight is stopped.
Looked a little high. Is okay? Okay.
And that should do it.
That's it, I think.
That is 3 points for Ayuko. She has won it in an impressive manner, opening up a 1.5 lead, and then she allowed her opponent Katoka to get right back in it, and then a full point and another half point. So she scores in flashes.
She sure did.
Look at Andre Tippett, a fellow who has earned his share of respect in the National Football League, playing linebacker for the New England Patriots.
He sure has, and he's a great martial artist too. Hopefully we'll get him on here a little bit later.
The action has been hot in the 1991 AAU Karate National Championship, and there is more to come. Stay with us.
Vince, remember how we got our jobs telling people to buckle up?
Yeah, it seems just like yesterday.
Next. To buckle or not to buckle? Next.
Defend.
Next.
We are never going to find a safety belt spokesperson.
Let's get buckled!
Yeah, we've helped save thousands of lives.
But some people still don't buckle up. So let's hit it!
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt. In 1985, Glenarden, Maryland had one of the highest crime rates in the nation. Most crimes occurred after 10 p.m. by kids under the age of 21. That's when Van Standifer decided to fight back. He started a midnight basketball league. It reduced crime by 60%, gave kids something better to do with their time, and new meaning to Van Standifers. To learn what you can do in your community, call the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
Did you know that the biggest user of paper in the world is the federal government? That thing they call red tape is unrecycled paper. It's our trees they're wasting. We have to tell them to take it back. Call your congressman, call the president. They work for us. We recycle, so should they. Tell them to take it back.
Buy stuff that's recycled. Recycle the stuff you buy. Take it back.
Now from Japan, Karate Do Dosai Kai Seidokan Goju-Ryu. Performing for you is Sensei Tandanori Nobetsu, his son Masanori, and daughter Mayumi.
So Mr. Nobetsu will provide a demonstration, and very familiar with this gentleman, Brett. He is your coach and teacher.
Yes, he is. I do travel to Japan about 4 times a year and stay with him. I train in a number of different schools, but he is my #1 karate teacher in Goju-Ryu. And I've known his family for quite a few years, and they're a wonderful group and very talented in their martial arts.
I'm supposed to use it when Sensei... Oh, yeah.
Okinawan Goju-Ryu, that's what you focus on.
That's right, Okinawan Goju-Ryu. Although Mr. Nobetsu here is from Japan, he practices the Okinawan art of karate. We have 2 simultaneous kata going by Mayumi and Masanori, while Master Nobetsu practices a very difficult breathing kata, very powerful internal energy kata called Tensho. It's the highest form in the Okinawan Goju-Ryu system. If he were to be hit right now with almost anything, even a freight train, he'd withstand it. His body's very strong, but very relaxed on the inside. He's using a lot of what we call ki, or internal energy. Now he's performing the Kata Seiuchin. This is a very strong Goju-Ryu Kata. Kata, of course, is an opponent training their body to be fine in technique as well as learning fighting moves against numerous opponents.
Brett, as the director of the host group from Japan and event promoter, and also serving as the USA Chief Director with the International Martial Arts Federation in Tokyo, Japan, very familiar with the country of Japan, and you have trained police officers over there as well in the art of self-defense.
Well, actually, it's been the other way around. I have attended the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department training, and have trained with a number of their instructors over the years. Although I work on a one-to-one with them, I've learned an extreme amount of great technique from them.
Now the crowd settles in and just enjoys the precision and discipline of Mr. Nobetsu.
Mr. Nobetsu is in his late 50s and acts just like a young man. That was a fine performance. That was a performance, of course, of very traditional Japanese Okinawan karate, and not the flash you sometimes see in the films, which I've worked on over the years.
Again, hours of practice, years of practice to perform these demonstrations and stunts, if you will.
Well, a stunt is a prearranged move, and that is true. It's somewhat prearranged, but what makes this a little different is, again, they're looking at technique more than they are the action. Now they'll be going at full speed, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
No, not much of a margin of error.
No, very little margin.
How heavy, excuse me, Brett, how heavy are these bows?
Well, they weigh about, I'd say, it depends on the wood that is being used at the time. They can weigh up from 4 to probably 6, 7 pounds. Most of them are around 4 pounds. They usually use an oak. It's light but very strong, is why they use oak in Okinawa.
A full week of competition here at the AAU Karate Championships, and this, of course, the culmination, and you as the event's promoter have to feel good about the way this event has come off for you.
Yeah, I'm very pleased by the amount of people, the crowd we've had come out here, and of course, what really pleases me is the quality of the competitor. It's been extremely high. I really believe this is the best karate, Japanese karate, I've ever seen. And after a few years of doing this, I've seen a lot of karate around the world.
The crowd responds. We'll be back with more action right after this.
You got a little cassette player. You got a box. Your kids got toys with batteries. I got bad news for you. Those batteries you throw away are loaded with mercury, and the mercury you throw away gets into the soil. Bad, bad, bad. Use rechargeable batteries. And if you see someone tossing out a battery, instead of taking it to a recycling center, tell them to take it back.
Buy stuff that's recycled. Recycle the stuff you buy. Take it back.
Doesn't scare you, just wait.
The doctor will see you now.
One night a year ago, Vanessa got high with some guy and forgot everything she learned about preventing AIDS. Now her life is the horror show. AIDS. Another way drugs can kill.
After living among you as a student
for this year, I now understand what it means to be an American.
Thank you
for opening your homes
and your hearts.
Give yourself the chance
To share your country
with someone from another land.
Host an exchange student.
Be an exchange student.
Thank you. Tusen tack.
Grazie tante. Kiitos.
Maraming salamat po.
Muchas gracias.
Kiitos paljon.
Merci beaucoup.
Call Educational Foundation for Foreign Study toll-free at 800-44-SHARE.
And we are set for the middleweight matchup. Adrian Ellis
and Mr. Kobayashi. Mr. Kobayashi is from Japan. He is also a friend of mine. Is training, been training here in the United States. And
Ellis will be wearing the red flag. And we are underway.
This Japanese group that comes over is a fine Japanese team.
Now Ellis has changed from righty to lefty about 3 times early.
Yeah, well, there really is in Karate Do, Japanese Karate Do, you don't want to have a right or left side. We reverse back and forth, use both sides of our body to find an opening.
Just ask Alberto Pena, a member of the USA national team, a little earlier in the day. He caught a couple of shots to the chin. As a result, he won't compete tonight. He won his match, but he took some lumps. It's a half point again for Tatsuo.
Yeah, you have a highly skilled opponent here in Mr. Kobayashi. Score we have right now, we have 1 full point to nothing.
So Tatsuo leading at 1-0. And that's just over 3/4 of the way down the stretch, and now that is it. When you go with a stop time, 2 minutes can go in a hurry when you don't stop it often. And that should be the win, and it is.
That's the win. Mr. Kobayashi won that.
Ellis fought well. He just couldn't get started. Couldn't find that opening.
Mr. Hiroshi Allen from Louisiana. Mr. Arnie Schuldweld Wilder from New York. He's in the red. Mr. Allen is in the white with no red sash.
Light heavyweight up to 165 pounds or 75 kilos. 2.5, 2.5. One more score will win it for Allen.
Hiroshi's father was one of the top competitors in the United States for many years, Mr. Bob Allen, and has taught him quite well. Little late contact to the head there.
Warning for Soldwedell from New York. That's his first. Allen looking for a half point or to stay out of trouble, and that looked like perhaps contact again, and it's a half point, and that should do it.
Half point.
Allen should be the national champion.
That's it.
That ought to be it, and I think it is. It is. Hiroshi Allen is the AAU national champion from Louisiana.
Okay, that's Mr. Prince, Mr. Perry Prince out there on white, and Quintero, Mr. Carlos Quintero in the red. Mr. Prince stepped out of bounds there.
Prince with some big contact to the chest.
Yeah, he's a big boy, Mr. Prince.
Again, the side kick. And he catches a round kick and goes down. Is that too much contact, Brett?
No, that's not too much. That's a control kick. A roundhouse that really hits you would put you down for good. We'll see what happens. Yeah, he scored right as the kick came around. He stepped in and scored with a straight punch, and that's what scored him that half point. Right there, another straight punch. We'll see.
A lot of contact where there are no points scored.
Yeah, when you get heavyweights, they'll have a lot of clash together.
Prince looked at the referee as if he was a bit confused because Quintero kept on fighting after the stop command was issued.
Yeah, when you get your adrenaline going out there like these gentlemen do, it's hard to hear that stop command in Japanese. And
half point for Quintero as he creeps back into this match.
There's time.
And that is time as you see the red beanbag thrown in, and let's see who comes away with the national championship. It will be
Mr. Prince.
Harry Prince in a close one with Quintero charging down the stretch. And you look at the crowd as they are pleased with the results, and so is that band. In the heavyweight division of the ladies, AAU national competition.
Beautiful punch by Minakami.
Reverse punches again, and this time will Minakami
score with this. Oh no, I was wrong. I didn't see it.
Half point the other way for McCleary. She leads it by a half point. First scoring in the match. She got a good side kick in there. We're getting late, and soon we'll be seeing the beanbag fly across the ring to signify the end of this one. Tied at a point apiece. Now it is crunch time. in more ways than one. And Akami works in. She throws a reverse punch. Half point for McCleary. She leads it. There and a half to 1, and the bag comes into the ring. So in the waning seconds, McCleary looks to have pulled off the heavyweight national championship, and she has. She sure has. Not much separating those two, that's for sure. Right down to the wire. There's more action to come from the Twin Towers Hotel and Convention Center right after this.
Hello, this is Milt Wirtz in the lab. Research indicates that we Americans create garbage at an alarming rate. To alleviate disaster, I have come up with a solution. Worms, garbage-eating worms. This subspecies can go through a pound of garbage in no time, and I've got bigger ones out back.
There's an easier way to save the world. Recycle. For your free recycling action guide, write Recycle. Environmental Defense Fund, 257 Park Avenue South, New York, New York.
People who are usually quite sensible can lose their judgment when they've had too much to drink. I'm Commissioner Mary Johnson. If you see a friend who's about to drive drunk, take the keys. You can do something about drunk driving in Orlando.
Vince, come on, we're late.
This headbanging is more fun than going through a windshield.
Good night from Iron Maiden. Drive home safe. Remember to strap yourselves in with your safety belts. You don't want to end up like Eddie. Belt up. Don't be a dummy.
Performing another demonstration, we are proud to present the president of the Japan Karate Federation, as well as Master Miyagi himself from Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3, Fumio Demura.
Fumio Demura, the man that served as the Mr. Miyagi in the Karate Kid movies, steps on, and this has been a much anticipated demonstration, and this man is the #1 stuntman in the business.
He sure is. He's been doing it quite some time, and talking about Kabuto earlier, he is also one of the great Kabuto men in the world. He trained under one of the premier people. The gentleman assisting him is Mr. Minakami, the great martial artist in his own right.
Fumio Demura on the right of your screen, an 8th degree black belt, and doubled as Mr. Miyagi in the Karate Kid movies.
Of course, doubling as Mr. Miyagi in the Karate Kid movies for Pat Morita. Also was in all of the O'Hara series on television.
In the lobby earlier in the day, some fans were talking about how much they were looking forward to seeing Demura in action.
Yeah, he's noted around the world as putting on a fine demonstration. And you can see why Mr. Miyagi in the movies took out his opponents quickly. Thank you. Wonderful demonstration, Sensei Demura.
Competition in the women's open class provided a spirited confrontation as the action began to heat up. When the dust cleared, a national champion was crowned. The men went on the attack next, exhibiting size, speed, power, and precision. John Lynn Kako enjoyed a career day, earning MVP honors along with championship status in the men's 65 kilo, open, and kata competitions. heavyweight champion Jeff Thompson also got into the act as he walked out of retirement and into the ring to delight the crowd, just like a champion should. We'll be back with more as the International Team Friendship Competition is around the corner.
I've had a lot of fun doing tricks like that here at Cypress Gardens, and now I'm having fun in another career, the Florida National Guard. In the National Guard, you can choose from fields like armor, infantry, aviation, medical, field artillery, and lots more. See or call your hometown recruiter today and find out what the National Guard can do for you.
Tonight, Dolores had a few drinks, did some crack, and ended up another tragic story. Only she doesn't know it yet. Drugs make you forget. And if you forget how risky sex can be, you could catch the AIDS virus and not know it for months, even years. AIDS, another way drugs can kill.
The International Team Friendship Competition began with Team USA staring across the ring at the Japanese national team. The transition from staring to one-on-one competition was rather quick. Both teams exhibited skill and the will to win throughout the match. After all the blows were recorded, it was Team USA emerging victorious, winning 3 bouts to 1, and turning their sights on the national team from Great Britain. This match offered a series of bouts that were packed with power, each fighter staying busy in search of victory. Team USA found the successful recipe to close out the competition, earning a 3-1 nod. We'll be back with more right after this.
What does it take to get CV on your TV? It takes long hours and hard work. It takes courteous service and attention to detail. It takes the latest technology, careful planning. It takes people who keep the little things running and the big things rolling. What does it take to get CV on your TV?
It just takes a phone call.
See it on TV. Delightfully tacky, get it on the fine. How about Hooters?
Enjoy our family atmosphere. Every time with friends you'll find it here. Great food and fun is what we boast.
Wings, crab, shrimp, and oyster roasts.
More than a mouthful is what you'll say.
So how about Hooters today, where you'll have fun till your daddy takes a T-bird away. How about Hooters?
The national champions and second place finishers are crowned, and Brett, has to be an exciting time for you. 5 days of intense competition and activity, and when you went down the stretch, you did it in style.
Well, we had a great competition here tonight, didn't we? It's a way to top off your week when you have competitors like this out there, and the winners were really great.
And you know that they will cherish those medals, those national championship medals, especially when they go home.
They sure will. After 5 days, they're ready to stop, but the competition tonight was sort of the climax, and that's what they were looking forward to all week.
And you have to feel good, inducted into the Hall of Fame, and this tournament comes to a close because you've worn so many hats during this 5-day period.
Well, I sure have, but it was a great 5 days, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
So it was all worthwhile. For Brett Mayfield, I'm John Kirk. We'll see you ringside.